Hi everyone, my name is Thomas Ponce, and I'm the co-founder of Lobby for Animals. Today's segment in my series of training videos will be on calling your elected officials. Calling your legislator is a very effective way of lobbying, and in this instructional video, I'm going to give you a guideline to follow to make your call effective. Keep in mind, it's a phone call. We make calls every day of our lives, and just because these people are in power doesn't make them any harder to talk to. My first piece of advice is to always remember that as a citizen, you have every right to express your First Amendment rights and opinion to your legislators. They, as your elected officials, are obligated to take your calls and answer your questions to the best of their ability. This is very important for you to understand. They are obligated. It's their job. It's what we voted and elected them into office to do, to listen to their constituents' opinions and to take action. Those in legislation cannot do their job successfully if they don't hear from their constituents. When legislators receive numerous calls on a particular topic or bill, their ears perk up and they say, "Hey, I keep hearing about this issue from my district. It must be important to them. I better look into it." This is why it's so important to get as many people on board with your issue as possible. Spread the word about your issue and make as many phone calls as you can because they will definitely hold some weight. But don't ever think that your one phone call can't make a difference. You have no idea how many others have called on the same issue, whether or not the issue may strike a chord in the heart or mind of your legislator. Your phone call might be the one that makes your representative take action. The following is a guideline and some suggestions to use when calling your elected officials. As always, prepare ahead of time what you're going to say. Do your research so you have facts straight. Make sure that your information is up to date. Write out an outline and script basically of what you intend to speak to your legislator about. Now, I'm not saying read from the script, but you have to show some personality and some passion in your words. And reading from a script can sound robotic, so add a little professional oomph to it. But use your script as a guideline to keep you focused. When you get the call, identify yourself. "Hi, my name is Thomas Ponce, and I'm one of your constituents from Castleberry, Florida." Now, this is the point where people tend to get nervous, so don't. Don't be nervous, relax, and breathe. Treat this call like any other normal telephone conversation you've ever had, and proceed with your talking about your concern and for your issue. Remember to not read verbatim from your script, and add that professional flair and oomph we talked about earlier. Speak clearly and concisely. Get to the point. They don't need you to spoon-feed them the information. State your issue and your position on the issue and make your point. Only discuss one issue per phone call. You can always call back another time to discuss a different issue. Also, don't be discouraged if you don't get passed immediately to a legislator. Most legislators have aides that are very reliable and capable of getting your point across to the legislator. They're also usually very knowledgeable about current issues, so conduct your conversation the same way you would as if you were speaking with your legislator. When speaking to them, be sure you identify the legislation you're discussing by name and by number. It's best to have that info to give them so they can refer to the legislation for more information and research. If there's no legislation formed as of yet on the subject, it doesn't mean you can't address it anyway, and ask for support on your proposed bill. If enough people call about an issue, it could sway your legislator to introduce your proposal for consideration. If your legislator you are speaking with is not familiar with the legislation, provide him or her with a brief summary over the phone. If they inquire about additional information, by all means provide it. You can always ask to set up an appointment to go and speak to them in person if they'd like more detailed information. For your opening statement, make it brief and to the point. After you've expressed your points, ask for the legislator's views on the subject, and if he's supportive of your views or not. If he is, ask him for a commitment to introduce your idea on a bill or to vote against the legislation. When proposed, remember, even the legislator's views even if they're not in line with yours, don't argue. Keep your cool. Even if you think your words have fallen on deaf ears, don't be discouraged. Whether they agreed with you or not, they heard you, and that's what's important. You let them know as a constituent what's important to you, and believe me, it counts. After you've addressed your issue and answered any questions they may have, thank them for their time, and follow up with a thank you note to the legislator or staff person. Listening to their constituents is part of their job descriptions. Sending a thank you note is common courtesy, and it also is a great opportunity to briefly restate your position in writing. As you make more calls, you'll become more comfortable speaking, and it will become a second nature to you. Just hang in there and make it through your first call, and you'll be on your way. You'll see how easy it is, and you'll feel empowered by your success. Throughout your call, keep in mind why you're doing this. It's for the animals, and they need your voice. Let them be your strength. Thanks for joining me, and look for more videos to be posted in the future. I'll also be posting some more role-playing videos soon, and if there's anything specific you'd like to learn about, email me at thomasponce@lobbyforanimals.org. Remember, don't just dream of change, lobby for it.